Well, thank you, ladies and gents. We are going to do our Q&A. So first question is a both question.
A both.
So Sian, what's your absolute favourite thing that you have ever made? Oh my God,
I've answered this question before. If you've watched my the seamstress tag one, I've answered it in that one. It's my sister-in-law's wedding dress. No. When she asked me to make it, it was like I'd only been sewing for about 2 years, and I was like, "Are you sure?" She's like, "Yes." I was like, okay. And there's a bit of a story. So there's probably going to be quite a lot of stories around these, because if you don't know, I like to waffle. So we were out in Saudi Arabia, and I was using my mum's sewing machine. I was making the toile because that was the first time that she lives in Nuneaton and I live on the Isle of Wight. So measured her all up, and I told her beforehand, want the underwear that you're going to wear on the day. Yeah, no problem. So this pattern is a Vogue pattern. Loads of people have made it. It's one of those really difficult ones that's got like a weird yoke and it does this and it's all strange. And took it literally fit her out of the envelope. It's one of those ones where I did no alterations, and she put it on. She was like, "Oh God, that's amazing." I was like, "Oh, brilliant." She went, "Yeah, when I put the corset on, it's going to look even better." I was like, "What part of underwear wearing on day did you not understand?" So I had to start from scratch. It was like I could have killed her. And then
why didn't she just wear the Primark undies that she had on?
Because she wanted to have the nipped in 50s waist, right? So this was about 1.5 years in advance of the wedding. I didn't see her again in person till 10 days before the wedding. I was making that wedding dress till the night before she got married, because the bugger wouldn't come round for a fitting. So, yeah, most proud make. She wore it to the dressmaker's ball as well, and she did the parade. And when Gabby was reading out what I've made and all the rest of it, and she was like, "It's made by Kittenish Behaviour, and it's her wedding dress." But yeah, that's my most proud make. It's peacock blue satin silk and. Beautiful. But anyway, I'm going to stop now.
Mine's so boring in comparison. It's bizarre actually, because Maddie is sitting in the audience currently wearing part of my most proudest mate. So come 12.
Like this?
Yes.
Just because.
You have to duck.
You're finished.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to duck.
You're going to do like a dry
duck.
Yes.
Maddie is wearing the hat that comes with the Mario and Luigi costumes that I made for my son Tom and his best friend Max when they were, how old are they? No, 6 years ago, 5, and I can't remember what the event was at school, but they both wanted to go as Mario and Luigi, so I bought yards and yards of felt, and I made them blue felt dungarees with big yellow buttons, and I made them Mario and Luigi hats, and they looked amazing. And yeah,
awesome.
Boring, but totally proud. If this is going on my channel, I might try and find a picture and stick it up.
Oh yeah,
here,
right there,
right there.
And
Sian, you can put a picture up of the wedding dress. Right there! Fantastic. Another one for both of us. What's the first thing that you ever made? Okay. It can be knitting, sewing, or crochet. Okay, that's alright, that's good, because that's going to put a kibosh on my quiz. Yeah, I'll go first. What's the first thing I ever made? Can't do sewing. Knitting. I just made a square when I was learning to knit. My actual something. Socks. Yeah. I went straight into socks.
As you do.
As you do.
I can barely get a straight line.
Yeah, I can't tell you sewing because that will spoil the quiz.
Okay.
What about you though, Sian? What's the first thing you ever made?
Okay, so you know that sewing book, the Vogue sewing book that was going around in the 70s and things. My mum had that, and it had a pattern for a baker boy cap in it, and so I have no idea why I thought this was appropriate, and Mum, if you're watching this, I'm very sorry. I went into my mum's wardrobe and she had a black velvet skirt, and I was like, that will make an awesome hat. So I think I was 8 or 9, maybe a little bit older, 10. We were in Elmswell, so yeah, around about 10. And so trace the pattern off of the book. Cut my mum's skirt up to make the baker boy hat, and then I think it was a cereal box.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no,
You think I was joking earlier with the scissors?
Was it like Dior or something?
Thank God no. But yeah, seriously, don't let me near you with scissors. The lady over there with fabric that I'm coveting. So, yeah, it was a cereal box for the peak to make the peak stand out, and then I think I even butchered one of her necklaces for beads to bead the front of this Baker Boy cap.
What, like a queen?
No,
East London queen jobby, girly queen.
No, it was just like a couple, just a little motif in the centre. But I remember this vividly, and I remember I remember Mum a few years later kind of asking about this velvet that she kind of lost, and I was just like, oh, I don't know.
No idea.
Sorry,
What can tell you?
It's a good job Mum doesn't watch every single vlog every single day.
She's gonna watch this one though, you know, don't you? Hi, Mum.
Yeah, but yeah, that was my first thing that I remember making.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Another both one then. I can just say no to this one. Have you ever made anything that your other half doesn't like, but yet you still wore it? No, I haven't.
Which other half?
You were gonna say that one. Okay, these are all boths actually. They're all boths. This is going to take some time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys are busy, right?
What was your first job?
My first job, I was a travel agent, or an apprentice at a travel agency when I was 16 years old. I did 2 days of sixth form, hated it, and I'd already had this job, and it was supposed to be a summer job only, and it was a full-time job, and it was just like 2 days of sixth form, that's awful. Let's go and do some work. For £29.50 per week, £1,200 a year, my first job.
Oh.
And that was in 1996.
Oh, dear.
Yes, travel agent.
I started working when I was 10. I used to clean garage doors.
I tried to get a paper round. I tried loads of different. Nobody wanted to employ
I just used
me
to
until
knock
this
on
travel
people's
agency.
doors, and people used to go around and do car cleaning, and I realised that actually most people's garage doors were filthy. So I'd knock on the door and I'd offer to clean their garage doors. So yeah, I can say I was 10 and I cleaned garage doors. But now my first proper job, I was 15. And I worked in a local pub in the kitchens on a Friday night, and I would do all the washing up, and they would send me out into the garden in the summer with sacks of onions, and I used to have to peel onions. So I cried for a living. So, this is good. Non-sewing related. What is your favourite pudding?
Chocolate orange. What we just ate. That was good.
That was good.
Yeah.
Mine's lemon tart. That one,
okay.
not so good, but good lemon tart. Both. Tell us about a dream you have, or a bucket list thing that you would love to do.
I've been really lucky. I've ticked a lot of my bucket list things off. But one thing that I would, I was just about to say something, then it's going to ruin the thing that I'm going to do tomorrow, so I'm not going to say that one. There's lots of other things that I really want to do. I know. I want to go to America, and I want to do a driving tour of America in an open top car of all the different theme parks and ride the roller coasters. I want to do that from east to west coast or west to east coast. I don't care which way, but I want to do that.
Wow.
I want to go to the Maldives and stay in one of those little houses on sticks and just kind of lie in the sun and stay in my house on sticks for like 10 days, and someone will just row my dinner to me.
That one too.
Yeah. We've already said we're going to do that when the kids are old enough that we can leave them for a few weeks.
Yeah.
Months, years.
Never come back.
If there was one Disney princess dress that you could make, which one would you choose and why? And would you change anything? I've got an interesting story about Disney princess dresses. So I met Disney princesses the other week. Oh, Sian, have you got another battery?
Oh no, yes I have, but it's in my bag in my room. If you guys don't mind me disappearing for not even 5 minutes, I can run. Oh yeah, literally.
In fairness though, knowing Sian and knowing the way we both edit, we'll probably leave that bit in because it's quite funny.
Thanks.
So,
you have a funny story.
I have a funny story about Disney princesses. It's not funny, but actually for all you Zoe people, you'll be fascinated. So I met the Disney princesses a few weeks ago. I was in Orlando. There will be a YouTube video coming out shortly of my daughter, because she went and made a point of meeting all of the characters and getting their autographs. Now when we met Cinderella, she looked beautiful, and we'd been told that we needed to ask them things that would make them act in character. So I said to her, did you make your dress or did the mice? And she said, no, the mice made the dress, but let me show you something. Look at this fabric. And it's a beautiful blue dress. You've all seen Cinderella's dress. And this is where Disney, oh my God, the attention to detail that place puts into its parks blew me away. That dress, when you looked at the fabric, it was like a beautiful brocade, and it was a pale blue satin with like a silvery thread running through it. If you looked really closely at that silvery thread, you can tell me what's in that thread. I think Grace is nodding away. Glass slippers embroidered into the brocade of the entire dress. It was beautiful. But if I could be one Disney princess and the dress, brand new princess, I've never met her before, Princess Elena, is it Elena? She's got a gorgeous red dress. She's a new Disney princess, brand new. She's not in one of the films. She's from one of the television programs they've just brought out. And I don't know where she's from. I don't
We're
want
definitely
to say
going
it,
to
but
insert photo.
we are insert photo right here. She has the most beautiful red dress that is just absolutely stunning. So that is who I would be. Gorgeous dress, and just because her dress is really pretty. What about you?
Did you see anyone from Toy Story when you were out there?
Buzz.
Did you say Andy's coming?
No.
Because if you say Andy's coming, they fall on the floor.
Oh, wow. Oh, no, I didn't. But we did play shadow tag with Peter Pan.
Oh my god. I so need to go to Disney. My mum wants a grandkid before she'll take me to Disney. I'm like, no mum, you don't want a small you come with the adult, it'll be more fun.
Great fun.
Yes.
So who would you be and what would you make and why?
Okay. My favourite Disney princess is Ariel for like funny that, hey? You're gonna love it, you're gonna love that video so much. She doesn't have the most exciting dresses though. I think Tiana, I like Tiana's wedding dress right at the end of the Frog Princess.
You'd have to kiss a frog though.
They're both frogs together, so that was okay. But her wedding dress right at the end, that one's beautiful. I like that one.
I've not seen it.
Oh my god.
I've not seen Tangled until I was on the plane.
Oh
my there.
Oh, her dress is pretty too. And Zachary Levi is one of my favourite people ever. He was Finn, the male lead, and Eugene. Yes,
he was handsome. He was handsome.
Thank you.
He was handsome. I liked him.
Are you a Disney fan?
She's a mass Disney buff.
Question.
Mass Disney buff. So another one then. So how did you start your sewing businesses?
Okay, so I was a croupier at Playboy, and I met a guy there, and which is really not what you're meant to do. So he was really busy as well. We were never seeing each other, but he was like, why don't you do something that you love for you rather than work for somebody else? And I was like, oh, I'd really like to do this. I'd really like to kind of like make things for people. And he was like, here's a whole ton of money, do it. And it was
nice.
Like, okay.
Thanks very much.
Yeah. The relationship did not last, unfortunately, but the business has. So
yay. Yay for rich boyfriends.
Yeah, for rich boyfriends.
I started mine years ago, but not sewing necessarily. I did the craft fair circuit for a long while. I used to make, I've done cards, I've done glass painting, I've done bath bombs and soaps, all sorts of stuff over the years whilst holding down a full-time job. And then when I had Thomas, I worked part-time and I started doing it as kind of a business on the side, but I would make things to sell to people. And it got to the point after a while where anyone who makes stuff to sell knows that you just can't make any money because people won't pay for your time. And it got frustrating, but I lost count of the amount of people that would say to me at craft fairs, oh, you should teach people to do this, you should teach people to do this, I'd pay to come and learn and do this. And so I just basically set up classes from home 2 evenings a week, and the rest is history really. It's been a long a long process, but
and
that's
evolution. So
Yeah.
because like mine started off as
Exactly.
me making clothes, ready to wear clothes for people, and that didn't take off, and then
No.
it was made to measure clothes for people, and I hated it
Yeah.
because it was the pressure.
and the joys
pressure.
of YouTube and everything
Yeah.
else means that you can now do what you love.
I
and
get to
paid
make
for it.
clothes for me constantly. I get to show you guys how I do it, but I get to keep the end result. It's
Yeah.
amazing. So,
And that's where we're very different. So for me, it's I don't make that much for myself at all because I don't have time because I'm too busy teaching you lot. But I love that. Oh gosh, okay. Really? Would you
didn't
rather?
ask me anything.
Yes,
you,
I'm finding it hard to
started
read
this.
these. Would you rather have arms for fingers or fingers for arms?
I've got to get my head round this. I've had a couple of glasses of champagne.
Fingers for arms
Oh dear.
or arms for fingers? What do you get? My question. Okay, so if
Whose brain was there?
we have arms for fingers, do those arms have fingers on the end of them? So do we have
Oh, yeah.
50 fingers on each arm?
Oh my god.
Do we have 100 fingers? Whose question was
Oh,
it?
oh.
So why look at me when you say it was my question.
Do you know in
So if you can answer that one for us, I'll find that much easier.
Do you know-
Are there still hands on the end of those arms?
Or is it just fingers?
Okay.
So we're not going to get
Put your
50, we're not going to get 100 fingers. I think
I
think I'd get on better if I had fingers up here and I could just
Yeah, I think I'm with
pick something up. Then 50 fingers and fingers for arms.
Yeah, same.
Same question here. What's your absolute favourite thing you've ever made? We've had that one. What's the first thing you've ever made? Oh no, hang on. I tell you why. 'Cause
She's reading the same page.
It's alright, you've had a couple of glasses of champagne too. Glad it's not just me.
Anyway, moving on.
moving
I'm never going to
on.
be a news student. I need to do this.
Yes, that's also staying in. You know that, right?
Thanks. Love you. Right.
too.
Ooh, I read that funny for a minute. If you invented a tipple, what would you call it and what would you have in it?
Oh.
Yeah.
I was talking to Frank earlier.
Sharon.
Yes, sorry. In
Renamed.
joke. Yeah.
In joke.
I went to a club once and they had over-ordered in the Tia Maria, and they were basically giving it away to all the tables for free because it was going to go off. And they'd given you a whole bunch of normal mixes with it, and it was, I don't really like Tia Maria because it tastes of coffee and I don't like coffee, but one of the mixes was orange juice and someone was like, seriously, trust me, try it.
Tea and orange is really nice.
Terry's chocolate orange.
Yeah.
I didn't
Jeff
know that up
Cakes.
until then.
Jeff Cakes.
And then just, yeah. So
What would you call it if that was your drink?
I would be so original and call it Terry's chocolate
charm.
orange.
See, it's probably going to taste vile, but I would put amaretto, rum and gin, which are my 3 favourite spirits. They'd be vile together, but someone would make it nice, I'm sure. Don't put your head in your hands, I was good for it.
Basically like a Long Island iced tea, but with
Yeah.
fruit.
I mean, I love Long Island iced tea is my favourite cocktail, and I think it would have to be called the Mrs. Mac.
Yes.
Or the Macca.
Oh yeah, mine could be the Singleton, couldn't it?
Macca cracker.
Yeah, like that.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's the one with the ideas.
What is your favourite patent company and why?
Ask me difficult questions.
I'm going to say By Hand London because we had this conversation earlier.
You fit them.
Yeah, I'm lucky enough. I have to do a full bust adjustment, but once I've done that, I get in there. But the Anna dress was the first dress that I made about 5.5 years, 6 years ago now, and I followed the sew along, and I'd never done a French seam before, but it was like, okay, you said French seams, all right, then we'll do this. And then bias binding, and this thing, and it fit so well, and it was one of those things, it was just like, this is amazing, but you don't fit into By Hand London patterns.
My back's too broad.
If I'd had that experience, I don't know if I'd be here today,
no, my
because I
back's
made
too
that
broad.
dress, and it was just like, it was
I'm
perfect.
like this, all of this. It just,
No.
it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's got to be Tilly and the Buttons for me, I'm afraid. And she's a Marmite, old Tilly and the Buttons, isn't she? Some people really don't like them, but I cannot fault her patterns. The instructions are great.
Yes.
They fit together. They're absolutely seamless. Even silly things like the 5/8 that she cuts out of the corners so that when you sew it, it all just lines up. It's like a perfectly fitting puzzle, and they fit. And even if you are the biggest person, you're a size 8. What's not to love about that? Let's be honest. No, so Tilly, I love you, Tilly. She knows I love her. Oh, this is easy. PDF or paper?
Paper.
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 Hate PDFs.
They're so pretty.
Your dream sewing machine / overlocker / cover stitch? Yes, no. I'm assuming cover stitch. Do you want one? Yes, no. Your dream sewing machine. What would, if you could have any machine in the world ever, what would you have?
Up until my mum bought her new one, I would have said my one, and then my mum upgraded and got the one that's like 2 steps up from my, or she got my machine but 2 years on, and now I want that one. Because not for any reason, mine's perfect and works great, and just because hers has a few more bells and whistles, and it's like, because I want this one because it's new and shiny. So yeah, Benina girl through and through, and that's all Mum's fault. She was like, buy Benina. It's like, okay, yes, Mum.
Old school.
Yeah, and I have the perfect surgery for that. I hadn't heard about Baby Lock, and when I was buying
the air threading machine,
I watched it at the show, and it was just like, oh, genius! Who thought this up? Why did I not have this? Yeah, so I think money no object. Now I've got a Benina cover stitch, I've got a Benina overlocker, I've got a Benina sewing machine. I would go and get and have you seen the Baby Lock embroidery machine? Yeah, I want that.
No. See, I want the Baby Lock air threading overlocker, definitely, because I hate threading my overlocker with a passion. But do you know what? I love my machine. I love my Janome. I have a DKS 500. I think it is.
I know what I have.
Limited edition. I don't know what I have. It's dark egg blue.
Oh, pretty.
And it cuts my thread for me.
Oh, nice.
And it sews my seams. I don't need all the bells and whistles. Does the job. I love it.
Yeah, I think mine has like
I'm
something
easily pleased.
over so many hundreds or even 1,000 stitches, and I've used like 6 of them.
Yeah.
You know, there's
Straight stitch,
one
zigzag stitch. You can sew. You don't need all the fancy pants. They're nice.
One of mine makes little frogs though. I do like the little frogs.
I like cats.
I have cats too. Yeah, I have cats, but I like the frogs in particular.
I don't have frogs. So, but I'm not sure that a few £1,000 is worth paying for frogs.
No. But again,
I did have this discussion with someone today, and I can't remember who it was. The difference between the CXL 301 that we teach in and whatever I have that I brought in today, DKS something or another, is £200, and really all you get for that is a cut button and a knee lift, which I never used. And
I love my knee lift.
the cut button, I would pay £200 for a cut button. Just the noise of that cut button, just the I love it. Love it.
Yeah, mine has a cut button, and I never use the cut button on mine, but it has a knee lift, and I can't live without my knee lift.
No.
I like having my hands free to do.
You
all
are
the
a
things.
dressmaker through and through, Sian. I don't do enough dressmaking,
If you
obviously.
do it industrial, you have to use the knee.
Yeah, you do,
can't
yeah.
use the pressure press.
Yeah.
And when I tried the machine in the shop, I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I've never plugged it in.
Yeah.
Your dream vacation? Maldives.
Bora Bora, Tahiti, Fiji.
Hot places.
Hot Highlands.
Yeah, somewhere with a beach that I can rotisserie chicken myself whilst reading the book. Yes.
Oh, this is a good one. Someone in the roof. No, someone's in the bar thing.
I was like, oh, where's
Rats?
the noises coming from?
What inspired you to start a YouTube channel?
Lisa Comfort. I've been doing my YouTube channel for 2.5 years now, just over, with sewing. My channel's actually about 6 years old, but it was paper crafting before that. So if you go right back, it's me with a really shaky iPhone going, I've made another photo album and this is this. But then I kind of stumbled upon Lisa's channel, and she was doing a fabric haul, and I was like, this is fascinating. I love seeing what she's planning to do with this fabric. So it's like, I can do that. And so I did.
Well done.
Yeah.
See, I started out in the nitty crochet world, so it was all the knitting and crocheting podcasts. So people like Inside Number 23,
Yeah.
and Lisa, I used to watch her
Brooklyn
as well.
Knit
Yes,
Yeah.
and I used to watch Villanvine. So Kristen from Villanvine's been doing her channel for like 6-7 years. She's like a real old school knitting podcaster. So I used to watch those, and then I was like, I can do this. So I did. Then I got into Lisa, and I'd followed Lisa for a long while anyway. Yeah, so much the same probably. Sewing wise, Lisa. And in the last couple of years, I can safely say that your channel's pretty inspirational. So yeah.
There's a lot of it, that's why. You can't get rid of me.
You can't.
Like
There's
daily,
a lot of
daily
waffle.
coming at you.
I can't. I how you do that. Well, I do know how you do that, but
I don't do anything else.
yeah. Yeah, you don't have two small people
No.
to
I have a
look
cat.
after. I can't read this, it's too dark. I'm
Which
so
one?
old. Where do you see yourself in 5 years' time?
With 20,000 subscribers.
Is that all?
I'm hoping maybe.
I want a silver play button, 100,000!
Oh, yeah, no, I would like. I've set myself. I'm not going to say it out loud, but I've set myself a goal for next year, and yeah, in 5 years' time, I love what I do, and I'm really excited to see how it's all evolving. And teaching this course this weekend, as I said to the people that are taking it, I've done this course once before, and it terrified me, and I was a nervous wreck beforehand. And this morning I was also
You were
a nervous
shaking.
wreck. I was literally like this, but once I've got into it, I am absolutely loving it, and everything that everybody's making at the end of it, it's all coming together. And seeing your faces when you made your key fobs.
I mean, even I've been like, I've had a couple of, oh my goodness, I've done a thing! And, you know,
and it's
I've
that bit
loved
when you
it.
turn something through and you're just like, I made that!
And that rivet press,
Yeah.
oh my god.
Yes. I told you to buy one.
I'm buying
I need
one.
to see. I
I'm
need
gonna
to see.
buy one.
Now I've got to lug it all
Yeah.
the way home. Yeah. But yeah, I'm starting a sewing retreat myself on the island next year, and you know I want to be doing that a couple of times. And somebody's asked me to come out to America, so we're going to try and sort that out. So I love this, and I want to keep doing this.
Yeah.
And I want this to be. It's how I make my living now. It's a very small living, which is why I live in my parents' back garden. But I would love for the place that I'm living now, which is supposed to be my mum's sewing studio, to actually be my mum's sewing studio, because I can afford to live somewhere else. But yeah, I want to be doing this.
Yeah, I mean, for me, my YouTube is just a very, very, very small thing of what I do anyway. For me, my passion is my actual physical studio and the people that come in the doors. And I love my studio, I love the people that come in, and I can keep a roof over it at the moment and earn a very, very small income. I want that studio to be fully booked 7 days a week with loads of people having an amazing time, because I get to see people thrive and grow and build their own personal confidence, and I love being the person that can allow people to do that. It's such a nice thing to do. We were having this discussion earlier, weren't we? It's lovely to see the evolution of my pupils coming in from, you know, right at the bottom and working their way up. So yeah, fully booked studio, 7 days a week. I want to have a manager running it for me, so I can come in and still teach, but I don't have to be there 24/7. So I can also focus on the online side, because there is a huge world out there of people. I mean, I can't believe we've got the lovely Lorianne here with us today. She's travelled all the way from the States, not just to be here just for us, but to be here.
Totes.
Just for you, just for us.
Just for us.
She's travelled from the other side of the world, and we've both got audiences in America and other places, and I want to nourish that and nurture that. So I need to kind of cut myself in two with the physical and the online. So yeah, much the same as you.
It's that happy balance.
But I want that YouTube play button.
Yeah, no,
I really do.
Yeah, I do.
I
have my sights
I want it on my wall.
I have my sights.
It's gonna happen. Not sure it will happen in 5 years' time, but it's gonna happen. So both of us, where is the best place you know to buy fabric?
Online, does that count?
No.
No. Goldhawk Road.
Goldhawk Road.
London.
Goldhawk Road.
London.
Agreed. Both. Do you ever fall out of love with sewing?
Oh, sorry, I've got one more.
Yeah.
Sorry on that one. Saudi Arabia, because not only I obviously appreciate that that's not everyone's cup of tea, but my mum used to work out there, and they have entire double height malls, just fabric shops. Literally, and not one, there's like 12 of them, and then they have
face, look.
Yeah.
She's like, take me now.
I will show you. I have photos. If you're willing to come near me, I promise I have no scissors. I have photos. I can show you.
Sewing retreat.
Can we see your dress?
Claire, Hindu.
Yeah,
Can we see your dress? Sean's going to steal the fabric from this dress.
She bought. I promise. I have no
You can
scissors. I
see
have.
them.
Oh, I haven't even got my scissors next.
You
to
do
me, so
have
you're
scissors.
fine.
You've got scissors for gifts.
I did, but they're upstairs. We're fine. Look at
this.
When she walked in, it was like, oh, I need that. No.
Flowers.
I might be able to find some off.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, so and
so
they,
Saudi Arabia.
because they had literally many malls, and then they'd have malls for trims, and they'd have entire walls of Swarovski crystals, and you'd walk in and it's just like hours spent in there.
Maddie's Hindu.
Yeah, Hindu.
Unfortunately, you can't get into the country, and you really don't want to. It's the human rights side of that country is appalling. But Dubai, if you go to the malls in Dubai, there are fabric sections in there, and it's nearly as good. So,
Yeah. I want to go to Dubai. That's on my holiday hit list actually.
I fabric shopping, seriously. Take an extra suitcase.
She does it anyway.
Yeah.
So where she goes.
Shoes and bags.
Oh, go in January, because every single shop
It's
has
my birthday.
in Dubai they have to take part in the January sale. I think it's 50% off, and if they don't, there's £1 million fine. The only people that don't
Stuart, are you watching this?
The only-
January.
Yeah, the only people that don't and pay the £1 million fine are Gucci and Chanel, because they're like, you know what, screw it.
We have £1 million.
We're going to lose more money by doing this discount, but everywhere else, it's a countrywide, they have to.
So Michael calls then. Sorted. Right.
Sorry, Stuart. Sorry.
Oh, he's alright. He's already doing Vegas this year. Do you ever fall out of love with sewing?
Yes.
What tips you over the edge?
I don't think it's not, to be fair, it's not actually sewing that I fall out of love with, but I when I'm going through a make, there's the creative process. So you start with the idea of like, this is amazing, and then you're making it, this is going to be awesome, and then you're like, I'm not really sure about this, and then you get to the point where you're halfway through and you're like, this is shit, and then you get to the next one, which is, I am shit, and then about 5 minutes, put it aside, come back to it, and you're like, this is awesome. So I fall out of love with my projects like halfway through, especially if they're fighting me or they want to be difficult or something like. So it's not sewing that I fall out of love with, and if that happens to me, I tend to go back to a quick project that I know I love, which is why I have 22 Anna bodices. No, 27 Anna bodices. I lied.
Well, I have Cocos and Lady Skaters.
Because you make something that you know you love, that you know you can do, that you know you're perfect at, and you put it on and it's like, this is why. So,
See, for me, I do. I mean, I fall out of love with sewing for two reasons. Either I'm super tired, and when I get really tired and I work too hard and life gets too hard, and as a mum and business owner, it does get hard, and that's no secret. I've been open about that, and if I feel myself on the cusp of a wobble, I will just switch off. I won't sew, I won't knit, I won't crochet. I just switch off and I just sleep. So I fall out of sewing love then, and really, to be honest, what gets me back into it is normally seeing other people around me making really lovely things that I perhaps didn't want to do. So it's like the kilo wrap dress. I never ever wanted to make that. I looked at it on YouTube and everywhere else. I was like, I don't like it. It's horrible. Maddie turned up to the studio wearing one. I was like, what is that dress? It's gorgeous. I need to make it. I bought the fabric, I bought the pattern, I cut it out, I made it within 2 days. So it takes someone else bringing me something to see to get me back into it. I think the other thing is, you know, I'm up and down with my weight. I'm not necessarily always happy with my figure and my shape and how I look, and I think I could spend hours making a really nice woven dress and it just won't fit right, hence why I'm in my jersey slump at the moment. So yeah, that's me. Yeah, the tipping me over the edge is normally just being knackered, in fairness. And I hate shit patterns. I hate shit patterns. If instructions are crap, I won't watch them, I won't read them, I don't like them. If they don't fit together or they've missed out instructions, I don't like it. Frustrating. So hence I will either stick to a big 4. It's more than 4 now, isn't it? They've merged. I will stick to like a commercial pattern, or I will stick to an indie pattern that I know, like Tilly's, that has really good instructions, and I know it will be fine. Because bad instructions, people that publish bad patterns, in my opinion, are just lazy. Shoot me down. Right, who would win in a fight? This is where it starts to get wrong. This is where it starts to go downhill. I don't know who these
Dwayne the Rock Johnson.
Who would win in a fight between Dwayne the Rock Johnson and Stone Cold Steve Austin? I don't know who Dwayne the Rock Johnson is.
Yes, you do.
Oh, The Rock.
Yeah.
And Stone Cold Steve, they're wrestlers, right?
Yeah, I hate that I know this. One of my exes is a massive
answer
WWE fan, and we had to. It was a.
I remember Big Daddy.
It was the Monday and the Thursday, and then the specials, and it was a really. Oh god, we had to watch it all the time. And it
So
was
who'd
just
win?
The Rock, because I know more him than I do Stone
Is
Cold.
he most likely to pick up a chair and fling it over the other one's head? Because that's the kind of wrestling I remember.
Oh yeah.
As a kid, Big Daddy would get the plastic chairs.
Yeah.
You probably just throw him out the ring.
I used
to be fair, have you seen the size of him at the moment? The film that he's on Instagram. Yeah. Have you seen his app? Wake Up with the Rock.
No.
He has an app, and it doesn't.
Straight on my phone.
But no, think about this beforehand, because whenever he wakes up, it doesn't matter where in the world you are. It's morning time! Good morning, everybody! It's gonna be a fantastic day! And it's just like, who needs this? Nobody needs that much.
This is rapidly going downhill, Sean.
Yeah, sorry.
What's
the amount
your
of random crappy
favourite
knowledge I have.
Ed Sheeran tune that you like to cry to?
Oh, cry to?
I only know one.
Oh,
the shape of the view. But the one I like, the one where it's not Ed Sheeran. It's all the people in the room with the plastic pipes.
I bought all of his albums recently and have been listening to them, and there's the one that he wrote when his mum passed away, I think Hallelujah, and I was listening to that and it was like
Do I need to listen to that when we go to bed? Is it going to make me cry before sleep? That's fine, we cry while we're putting our makeup on.
But I like the Shape of You, and they've done a Latin version of that you can salsa to, which is also amazing.
Ooh, oh yeah, I love salsa.
Yeah, me too.
Salsa. If you could print anything on fabric, what would it be and what colour?
So for those of you that don't know, I love Spoonflower and have spent an inordinate amount of cash with Spoonflower, and they do print on demand fabric. And I have bought other people's designs because I tried designing one myself and it was just like, oh god no, that makes my head hurt. But my Kittenish Behaviour logo, I've actually got heart-shaped ones, which is loads of little cats, and I kind of want to make that into a random polka dot and make a big 50s style.
Did you see my cat dress that I bought?
Have I seen your cat
A ready-made dress.
Yes, I have.
My cat is in your colours.
Yes.
Black cats on blue.
Yes.
I actually had my logo printed on Spoonflower fabric about 8 years ago when Spoonflower first came out. But yeah, if I could print anything on fabric, what would it be? I think I'd have to go for something really random that you just can't buy, like cheese or something.
You can buy that.
Can you buy cheese fabric?
Yeah.
Cheese and pickle.
Yeah, timeless treasures.
Gherkins.
They've done a whole. Yeah, you can do that. They've done a whole farmers market.
Marmite.
Oh, I don't know about Marmite. That's branding though. You might struggle with the copyright with that one.
I just think something really silly. That's what I love about making my own clothes, is when I make something out of a really wacky That's what I love about making my own clothes. When you make something out of a really wacky fabric and you're in the bar or a pub or whatever, and you're up at the bar and someone goes to me, love the dress, how did you get it? And you get that whole, oh, I made it, thank you. Because the reason they've said it isn't actually because the dress is particularly nice, it's because the fabric's so amazingly out there that they're like, I couldn't buy that in a shop. So yeah, the wackier the better really. I mean, maybe a dress with like chairs all over it or something.
My favourite Spoonflower fabric that I do have in my stash at the moment is a French toile. So, you know, the kind of blue and white pastoral scenes. But when you get closer and closer and closer, it's got a Dalek in it and a Weeping Angel and Gallifreyan and the TARDIS.
That sounds fun.
It's, oh yeah, I love that. I'm so in love with it that I don't want to cut into it, and they don't do it. It's on the silk cotton base and they don't do that anymore, so I can't get any more of that exact same fabric. So I have 3 yards and I'm just every now and again take it out and stroke it and then put it back because no, I can't cut it. So yeah, it's ridiculous.
Right. We need to be.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh no, we're good. We're good. Yeah. We're gonna quiz it in a minute.
Oh, good grief.
Yeah. Right. What is your absolute sewing pet peeve? What really grinds your gears? Well, I've covered this one already. Crap patterns, crap tutorials, rubbish instructions. If you're going to be charging for something, it needs to be good. Pattern test it properly. through and through and through, make it indestructible and perfectly perfect for the level that you are aiming it at. If it's an intermediate or an advanced pattern, it doesn't need to have quite so detailed instructions, but if it's a beginner's one, you know, pretend that person's never touched a sewing machine before in your life.
No,
and if it doesn't fit, then that's just soul destroying to a beginner, because they just might make something and then never make anything again. So that is my absolute pet peeve. So that's my campaign for good patterns. What about you?
I'm kind of on that bandwagon. I agree with you. There's a few things that I've made that I've been reading the pattern. There was one earlier this year and it irritated, and it was the things that they were getting you to do, and it was like, this is stupid, this is also stupid, this is stupid. So I redrafted the whole thing, put it together myself, and it came out with a passable dress that it's a bodycon one that I didn't end up liking because I don't particularly like bodycon on myself.
I love bodycon.
But it was just the amount of idiotic things that they were getting, and it was aimed at beginners, and it was like, why are you making life so difficult?
But it's not, I mean, it's not just sewing. I've said this before, it's knitting and crochet. I mean, there's many crochet patterns I've had to rewrite to be able to teach them in classes, because it took me hours to, and I don't profess to be a master of crochet, I'm certainly not, but I can understand a basic pattern, and for me to look at a pattern and go, not there, and not get it, a beginner's got no hope in hell, have they? So, you know, that really grinds my gears. To cut or not to cut, as in patterns?
Trace, always trace, because I have a couple of patterns that I bought. I have a couple of patterns that I bought about 10 years ago that I cut out at a small size that I can no longer use, and if I want to buy them again, it's £30 bloody pounds, because they don't print them anymore. And I trace all the way. It takes you that little bit extra time, but if you want to then start altering patterns and making alterations to things and cutting into tissue and making tissue behave itself is difficult. So yeah,
I'm a cutter. But
even your indie patterns?
I'm a cutter, even my indie patterns, but because I'm a business in that I can buy wholesale, I get my patterns considerably cheaper than RRP. So if I cut into one and it's brilliant and I love it, I do then buy a copy to replace.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I. So slightly different, but yeah, I would agree. Don't, if it's a pattern that you love, trace it first. But no, I can't, because I'm just lazy.
It's an extra layer of added.
Or she gets someone else to trace it for her.
Yes,
yeah,
there is
we'll
already
get interns in over the summer. When they come in, they trace the patterns for me.
I don't know if I trust somebody to do that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh no, I'd be standing over there, I'd be like, no.
Yeah. I don't always get them to cut them out, because the cutting might be a bit wibbly wobbly. But yeah, no, it normally works.
Okay.
Normally works. Okay, 3 left. What pattern would you make again and again and again and again, stroke have done, Claire, other than the skater dress? Sean, other than the NCW?
I've answered this already. The Anna dress, I have 27 bodices, so yes, I love that dress. I keep saying that I'm not going to make any more, but it's my go-to one. If I'm having a sewing slump and I've lost my sojo, I made my exploding TARDIS fabric into an Anna dress, and I love it, and I got my sojo back. So yeah, the Anna dress.
Probably it's a hard close between Tilly and the Buttons Coco and just a really simple duckback designs raglan t-shirt, because it's a go-to, it's quick, it's easy, I love it. But yeah, skater dress. If you could dye your hair any colour, what colour would it be?
This colour. This is not my natural colour, can you believe that?
I miss my blonde, although everyone tells me blonde didn't really suit me, but I miss it. And I'll tell you what I really miss was my shocking pink. I loved my shocking pink,
yeah,
but it's so hard to maintain.
Yeah, I'd be pillar box red if it wasn't an absolute nightmare.
Every week you have to dye it,
and bleaching your hair to get to this red is good. I like this
I
red.
quite like purpley, like purple colour.
That's
purple
quite
for a
nice.
while.
I had purple hair for a while.
Last one. Superman or Batman, Marvel / DC?
Current Superman or Batman?
Yep.
Henry Cavill every time.
Which one?
Henry Cavill every time. You can't have him. You have him Batman. You've got Ben Affleck. Or you can have George Clooney. Oh, Val Kilmer. Yeah, it's getting worse and worse.
I don't do either. I'm not a nerd or a geek, I'm afraid.
Have you
so
seen
for me, it's Lego Batman, because he's cute.
Henry Cavill.
Who?
Oh, I'll show you in a minute.
Okay.
He's so pretty.
Lego Batman. I like Lego Batman, he's so sweet. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for Q&A. Yeah. I think we'll probably pop that up on YouTube.
Thank you very much for listening to me waffle for so long.
So we're going to do the best dress competition, then the quiz, and then the raffle. I'll raffle through as quick as I can because I know that some of you have got NCW workshops to do tomorrow. Yeah.